Hi, this is Patty from PS Paper Crafts. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful card. It's a birthday card with a pretty wreath. I did some embossing and I did some die cutting. On the inside, it's wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. And I'm using the Arrange a Wreath stamp set, and I'm mainly using the dies, and these are called the Wreath Builder Dies, and I love them. I already cut out the pieces, but let me just show you what comes in it. You get the beautiful outside wreath, so I have that as a dark mossy meadow, and this other piece, I did that in pear pizzazz, and I just layered them, but you get all kinds of things. So with this wreath, you can do hearts and make it for Valentine's Day or someone you love. A thank you, kind of a fall type wreath. Happy Easter with the Easter eggs. I guess you could put the pears on and leaves for the fall one, and then Merry Christmas. So you could do the Christmas partridge or just some dots. There's a lot you can do with it, and it's great for all these holidays. But I just wanted to make a birthday card, so I really didn't use the stamp set except for the flowers on the inside. This card I mainly used the dies, and as I said, I cut everything out already. So let me just show you. I have these gorgeous Magenta Madness flowers. That's one of our new in colors, so I use this for that. I have the wreath with the leaves, so I use this one, and that's pear pizzazz, and then this is the mossy meadow, and that's this piece, and that's kind of like the background. And then I just have some little flowers to go on the inside, which are these. So they have big flowers and little flowers. There's a bow. I tied my own bow, but you can cut out a bow if you wanted. It really has a lot. I love it. So let's get started. As I said, I did the cutting already, so let me just gather these pieces up because I want to start with the embossing. So I want to get this layer out here, my first layer, and I'm using, let me just put this aside, this embossing folder, and in this package you actually, they're smaller, so you get two of them. So you get one that has this image and one that has this image. So they're pretty cool, and this will work in the new Cut and Emboss mini that's Stampin' Up! Is coming out with. It's in the catalog, but it's not available yet, and this will work in that new machine. So I'm going to feed this in twice because it's too wide for this. So I'm just going to line it up so that it's kind of to the edge here, and I want to try to make it straight in the folder, and I'll just run it through. And I know this is probably going to shake, and I apologize for that. I'll go slow to try to make it shake a little less. So I'm just going to go through and go back. Okay. Now I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to try to just line this up again. So I'm just going to really make sure that the piece kind of just fits in the grooves. Let's give it a whirl. We'll go through and back. Okay, so now it looks like it's just one, fully embossed layer. And it's, wider than the embossing folder. So that was probably the hardest part of the card. So now we're just going to layer everything up. I have to cut a circle actually for this. So I'm using my layering circles, and I will just do that, step aside and do that so I don't shake you, and I will be right back. So I have my circle. I use the layering circles. It is the 4th from the largest, and that fits nicely behind the wreath. So let's get that stamped. I'm using Mossy Meadow ink, and I have my stamp set, or my stamp mounted. Now the stamps that I'm using for the sentiments are from the Peaceful Moments. So I'm using Happy Birthday and then the Wishing You Every Happiness this special day will bring. This is a great stamp set to get to have all these nice sentiments. So let's get this going. I'm gonna ink it up good. I think I need to re-ink my Mossy Meadow. It's a little bit light, but it will work. And I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Okay. And let's do the inside while I'm doing my stamping, and we'll get all our stamping done, and then we'll put the card together. So on the inside, I'm using this sentiment from that same set. And let's make sure it's not upside down. And we'll just put that about here. Okay, and then I'm using Magenta Madness, one of the new ink colors, and I'll just stamp some of the flowers. So I'll just do 3 flowers. I love this color. Isn't it pretty? I'll do 3 here and then just 2 up here, and then let's add some leaves also with the Mossy Meadow. Okay, and we'll just do one here. Well, that didn't come out so good. Let me see if I can go over it again. Okay. I think I'm going to try to go over this one again. Shall I test my luck? Okay. All right, so that's our inside. We're done with our stamping. And now we want to put everything together. So the first thing I did was I adhered these 2 pieces together. So this is the back. And I really tried to stay, I did it on here, just around kind of the rim. And the rest of it I left loose. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, because I like to use that for any kind of small area that I'm putting adhesive, and it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to move it around before I commit, so I have a little bit of time. Sometimes when you use the other adhesives, when you go down, it's down, and that's it. You're kind of done with it. They're not as easy to pick up. So we'll just put this down. And I'm really just trying to match the ring on the top and the bottom piece. So see, I can kind of lift it up and maneuver it a little bit. Make sure it all looks good. And I'm thinking for Christmas, this would be so nice with cherry cobbler in the back, with a green or with a gold or a silver. I think that would be really pretty. So now I want to put the happy birthday, because I want to have this down before I put my flowers, so I can make sure I'm not going to cover up my flowers. So it's a little bit smaller, but it's okay because it'll have the white behind it, and it'll all work out. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the rim of this. And then we'll put this down. And if there's a little glue showing through, it's okay. It'll dry clear. Okay. I'm going to move it over a little bit. All right, so that looks good. So let's get our flowers, kind of figure out where we want to put these. And then we'll get the little flowers. So let me just get these up. And I'm going to put these on the insides of the big flowers. And you don't have to, I mean, you can just leave them as is, but I thought the nice little pop of color in the middle was nice. So we'll put this on, and if it goes through, it's okay, because we're going to stick this down anyway. If it goes through those holes, I try to match up that middle hole and just turn it upside down for a minute so it doesn't stick to the paper. Okay. And then we're going to cover that hole anyway with the gems. So I love that there's gems that go along with everything. The new in colors. So I'm using the Magenta Madness new in color gems for the insides. Okay, so now we can put these down, and then we'll put the whole thing on the card front. Let me just kind of place these. Let me get the card front and see how this is all going to lay out and look. That looks good. So let's put these down, and again, I'm only putting the glue on the center. I want the flowers to, and you could put these on dimensionals if you want. I didn't use any dimensionals because I feel like there's a lot of layers, and then the embossing, so I tried to just kind of stick with the liquid glue and have them down flat. So I'll put this down. Okay, and then we want to put our layers down. So let me get this on the card base. This is Pear Pizzazz, and it goes on the Mossy Meadow. See, the liquid glue just gives you that little bit of time, and I'm going to put this down next. And I like using the liquid glue when I have something embossed because I feel like it goes in all those little nooks and crannies there. So this is a little bit of a tight, oh, it's a little bit too big. Let me just cut this down. I must have cut the wrong size. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I just trimmed it down a little bit, and I'll have all the measurements here. For some reason, I just cut it a little bit too big. It's a very tight border, which I like. I like that kind of look, so I go with that a lot. And then let's put this down. And again, I just glued it down. You could pop it up if you wanted, and I'm going to put a little glue out here just to make sure it's nice and secure. This liquid glue is very secure anyway, but just to give it a little bit of extra. And we'll put this down. Isn't that pretty? I love that color. The Magenta Madness is very bright and kind of pops right off the page. So let's just put that down, and see, anything that's not in the circle, it's kind of hidden because it's white behind it. So we're all good with that. And now we want to add these gems. These are the in color gems. So we're just going to go with our Picket tool. I love how when you put a center in a flower, it just really makes it pop. It just adds, I don't know, that last little finish to it. And then I'm using the Daffodil Delight ribbon, and and the yellow in here is Daffodil Delight, so that's why I chose this ribbon. You could put the baker's twine in here. I think that would be pretty as well. I always like that on a wreath, but I wanted to do the yellow to just tie it in with the Daffodil Delight flowers. I kind of did this funny. Let me try that again. I think when I folded it, I didn't pull it through right. And this is really nice. It's a ruched ribbon, so it's got a little bit of bumps to it, and it's pretty. I like it. And then we'll just cut it. And I like to pull it together a little bit to make sure they're pretty even. Because when I eyeball this, it never seems to come out right. See, it didn't come out right anyway. And I could just go all the way up the flower, the ribbon, over and over and over again. And I don't have my mini glue dots. Normally I would put that on, but I actually, my daughter has been using it for a project she's working on. So I'm going to go with the liquid glue, which works fine. And we'll just let that sit for a minute. And then let me put the inside in. And the card is done. I think this is really a nice, cheerful birthday card for someone. Especially, you know, summer. We're now into summer, so something with these pretty flowers would be wonderful. So here we go. Put the inside in. And these are the two cards. I really like them. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.